Baseball family, welcome back to another episode of the Baseball Together podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Angels firing their general manager. We're going to talk about how San Francisco got absolutely walloped behind the plate. And then we're going to get into the playoff primer. So that's what you're going to get this week, and we're excited you're here. 9+ Us presents the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Kansas City Little Big Briggy Blue Eyes. And now, Baseball Together. All right, baseball family, like we said, we're excited to have you here. We are going to jump into current events right now. Brad, tell us about the Halos.
Well, I think it might have been a little overdue. I can understand giving a guy 5 years to put a team together and maybe make a run at the postseason, but it just never happened. Billy Eppler, the Angels general manager, was fired, and it really did not take very long. I don't know if it was even 12 hours after the Angels recorded their last out of the season, and he was out the door. I mean, you've got a guy who was able to make pretty big, splashy signings. You know, I mean, he brought in Shohei Ohtani, he brought in Anthony Rendon, and he made that.
Not to mention the Mike Trout deal.
Exactly, that was my next point. But for some reason, he hasn't been able to put it all together and even put together some kind of contender, because they never had a winning season under him. They never came close to the playoffs. It was an unmitigated disaster. It was absolutely it was, and I think it's just the guy just doesn't know how to evaluate pitching. You know, because they've had terrible pitching over the course of his tenure there, and it's mind blowing that you can put together such a bad team with such talent at the same time. You know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and what kills me is that now that he's brought in Joe Madden, I mean, you thought we'd see some turnaround, but we didn't, and that's the most disconcerting thing. And I think if I were in the ownership group, I'd be having the same concerns. But here's what boggles my mind about this general manager situation is, you know, it's that person's job to bring in the right people, to bring in the right players. It's not necessarily that person's job solely to bring in the right players.
Right.
So to me, it makes you wonder, like, he's not making bad player acquisition decisions necessarily, although he may be heavily involved in that, but he's making bad personnel decisions, and I think that goes way deeper into the organization than just, you know, who's on the mound.
I absolutely agree with that, because that was the next place I was going to go with that, because Jerry Dipoto, the Mariners' current general manager, was the GM of the Angels before he came to Seattle. And I had forgotten about this part until today when I read about it, that he actually stepped down from the GM position because of differences with the owner and you know, his higher ups, which, you know, isn't much higher than where he is. So it seems like there might be something more going on there with the Angels than simply a problem with the general manager. I don't know if Artie Moreno is meddling, you know, is not letting guys do what they want to do, or if they've got a president or vice president who's not letting guys do what they want to do. But, you know, maybe Eppler was not the guy for the job, because, you know, there was obviously no improvement over the course of time. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to see a team that has the potential to be as good as the Angels do, but just so bad. I mean, they finished 4th in the AL West. That's a bad division.
Yeah, and it's a bad division right now. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, and this, of all the years, right? Like, this is the one. If you can't make it into this playoff bracket with that talent pool, okay, systemic problems.
Yeah.
So, hopefully this is the sign of better things to come.
And, you know, one last thing on this, you and I were talking about Andrelton Simmons the last week of the season opted out. He said because of COVID. And
yeah, sure he did.
Exactly. I was gonna say he's gonna be a free agent, and I think he was just like, nah, I'm out of here. I don't want to have anything to do with this team. We're not making the playoffs. We're not making a run. I'm done with everybody here. So he just left. And quite honestly, to me, that's his bad teammate. But that also might say something about the organization. You know, now that we've taken a little bit deeper look. So
yeah, that's a culture. That's probably a culture assessment, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Could be.
And I don't think he's a bad teammate. I never got that impression until this is like the first time. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly my thought, because I like
You know
the
what
guy,
I mean?
but
It's
man,
like, yeah, I don't know. That's there's something else going on. He can't be this one anomaly, and then we assassinate his character or whatever.
yeah,
But
yep.
so what? Okay, you have this question up. What to make of the Cardinals? Now, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that.
So,
because I mean, this could go a lot of ways.
it could, yeah. But to me, it's interesting because they didn't make it to 60 games. They played 58 games, finished 30-28.
Yeah.
It feels like a little bit of an advantage to me.
Sure. Well, they're not the only team that did that, though.
They're the only team that didn't make it to 60 games. The Marlins made it.
They are the only team?
Yep, the Marlins made it to 60. Everybody in the AL East made it to 60. Or NL East. Yeah, everybody made it to 60 except for the Cardinals.
How did I miss that?
I don't know, but
wow,
jeez. And you're like, ultimately, it doesn't affect the standings. Like, they can't go up or down even if they go and lose those last two games. You know, if they were to play those two games, have played those two games today on Monday. Today's Monday, September 28th. If they had played those games today, it wouldn't have affected their place either way. You know, whether they swept a doubleheader or gotten swept. But to me, it helps pitching because you've got your rotation more rested by not playing those last two games at the end of the season. And I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. And Trevor Bauer actually brought it up on Twitter saying, why aren't they playing their last, finishing their season on Monday? But I'm not sure how they didn't finish, didn't get their last two games in, but everybody else did.
I don't know either, man. I didn't realize that was the case until you just brought it up. So I feel like a little little stupid here, but stupid's the wrong word. But you know what I mean. Like,
it's strange. It's strange is what it is.
Yeah, it is strange. But I mean, are you saying that we shouldn't qualify? They shouldn't qualify for the playoffs?
Well, that's the thing is they won more games. Like, they won more games than the teams that didn't make it. Like the Giants. The Giants won 29. They're just barely out. Just barely on the outside looking in. The Cardinals still won 30 games. They still would have finished regardless with a better record than the Giants. So that's fine. I'm just saying it feels like somewhat of an advantage to some degree by not playing those last two games because that's two less games of wear. And I understand, it probably would have been 2 7-inning games because it would have been a doubleheader. But I don't know. It feels weird to me. I mean, does it feel weird to you that they didn't quite make it to 60?
No.
All right then.
No, I don't care.
Right.
I think let me justify it really quick, and I'll just weave this line of BS really fast. Okay. I think 2 games, and you're right. Let's call them 7-inning doubleheader situation, right? So for me, it's like, whatever. I don't care. I don't think 2 games is a significant advantage one way or the other.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially when those 2 games really were at the very, very beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And it's not like they quit the last 2 games of the season and said, you know what, let's save our arms for a couple more days. They didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I did actually find it. The Tigers missed out on those 2 games. So that very well could have put them at 32-28.
Oh, okay.
Which would put them above the Marlins in the standings.
Yeah. That would have changed. Okay. Well, that bothers me a little bit.
Yeah, so that would have been a little bit more significant than I initially thought. But
yeah.
Yeah,
but you know what?
Yeah, anyway.
It doesn't matter.
In the end, it doesn't matter. Maybe they're getting the matchup that they wanted. I don't know.
Maybe that, yeah, right. The nebulous, all-powerful, royal they. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about who didn't make it, though, because San Francisco got burned behind the plate. Man, this umpire, if we can find a way to put a clip up for those of you watching, we should, because, man, they got hosed.
Yeah, big time. And, I just saw the clips of the end of the game. that last strike to end of the game. Let's see, it was Austin Slater.
Last 2 strikes were bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the fact that it was almost 6 inches below the bottom of the zone, and it looked to me by the couple of pitches that I saw that umpire was having a hard time with curveballs that day, which is a real thing. I remember playing, and I tell the pitchers, like, you're not throwing your curveball at all today because the umpire can't see it. It's ending right in my glove, right down the middle of the plate, and he's calling it a ball because he doesn't know where it's crossing. So I don't. Maybe he just needs to get his eyes checked off in the off season, something. I don't know, but it's a bummer that a team misses out on the postseason because of an inconsistent umpire. And maybe this means, I don't know, robot umps.
Here go. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Hey. Exhibit A.
Maybe I'm tired. Maybe that's what this is. But I'm not opposed to it right now. I will wake up tomorrow. Probably more centered in self-aware. But right now, I was watching those plays and thinking, maybe a robot. But maybe only a robot when Angel Hernandez is there.
Oh, this wasn't even Angel Hernandez.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. This guy might be Rob Drake, the umpire in this situation, might end up being our Angel Hernandez in 15 years.
It could be, yeah.
Or 10.
I mean, if he lasts that long.
Somebody's got to carry on the legacy, right?
My thing, though, this is the problem I've always had with umpires, is there's no accountability. In the NBA, they have the last 2-minute report where they say, like, the umpires, the referees missed these specific calls in the last 2 minutes of the game. So everybody can be like, it almost gives the fans an excuse to be like, see, they missed that call. We should have gotten free throws out of that. Or, oh, they shouldn't have got those free throws. That was a phantom foul, that. And the reason they did that was to hold the referees accountable. There's no accountability for big league umpires. Angel Hernandez goes out there and calls a terrible game, and then he comes out the very next day and is umpiring first base, and Rob Manfred and whoever, the head of the umpire association, have not done anything about it. Instead, he files a suit saying that there's discrimination against him for not putting him in the World Series. It's like, no, man, you're not in the World Series because you're terrible.
That's right.
There's no...
Too many mistakes, bro.
Yeah, and I know there's accountability in the minor league system for umpires because I've seen it. I've talked to umpire supervisors and them accounting, holding those umpires accountable. I saw an umpire get fired after a game one time because he was bad. But it doesn't feel like it's there at the major league level, and it needs to be. And games like this are just, it's such a big part of it that you've got to have some kind of system with it.
Yeah.
But
now, this wasn't a win one, make it to the playoff situation. Milwaukee would have had to lose as well in order for San Francisco, and San Francisco would have had to win. So both things would have had to take place for San Francisco to get into the playoffs. But it is a compelling argument for accountability and perhaps even electronics. So,
right.
Well, let's going to move on really quick and talk about DJ LeMahieu and Luke Voigt. Can you do it with me, Brad? You ready? You can do it with me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're going to do it right on 3. 1, 2, 3. Luke.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, I got you.
See, you didn't know.
I didn't get it.
I sprung it on you. I guess you're not a Yankees fan.
No, definitely not.
So the first teammates to win home run title and the batting title since 1959, and that was in Milwaukee. I forget the two players' names, but it's been since 1959 that teammates have won the home run and the batting title. That's remarkable.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you called that DJ LeMahieu was going to win that halfway through the season, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, or I suspected it anyway. I don't know that we could say I called it, but I was definitely on my radar. And he's the first. Isn't he the first player ever to win it in the National League and in the American League now?
He is. That's exactly right. Yep, DJ LeMahieu, first one in the modern era to do it in the American League and National League, which
right. So that's
pretty much you can
since
say
1900.
ever.
Yeah, right.
So
in 100 billion years
since the
first
dawn
ones
of
to
time.
do it.
But
and on the 8th day, no, seriously. But yeah, no, it's super exciting, and there are a bunch of other awards, and we don't have time to talk about them. But this is the one that we thought was really cool.
Yeah, I think it's really
How's
cool.
that
I mean,
for
Luke
honesty?
Voigt's been a great player.
Yeah,
Hitting home runs, especially when it matters. He's done a great job leading the Yankees offensively. And, I said a few weeks ago the Yankees stink, and it was because they weren't winning games. And then Luke Voigt heats up, and LeMahieu's hitting the ball over the yard, and they go on and they win a bunch of games to get second place in the AL East. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I really don't think it's a coincidence.
No.
So
not in the launch angle era with the 60-game season. No way.
So, Brig,
these. Go ahead.
I got something for you real quick. So, Luke Voigt hit 22 home runs this season.
Sure enough. Yeah.
Do you know how many that would be equivalent to in a regular season?
Ooh. Well, I will tell you two things. One, this is a very interesting question. I like this. Two, this also requires math, and I don't have to tell you how much I want to punch you in the throat right now. So if I'm going to try and convert the let's see, I don't even have the words for math. That is also remarkable. The point is, no, I have no idea.
It's 59. 59 home runs in the regular season.
Seriously, 59?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
That's the thing that I think has been really interesting over the last few years. Everybody, we've seen an overall uptick in home runs. More guys are hitting them with the launch angle and everything going on. But nobody's breaking 60. I mean, it's 59.4, so it's really close. But out of everybody who's hitting all these home runs, that 60 seems to be the elusive number still, even with all these home runs.
Of course.
So
60 is an incredible feat.
It is. Yeah, in 162 games still. And I think it's incredible that even in a shortened season where Voigt seemed like he was hitting him just about every day, it feels like.
Yeah, it was almost every day.
He still wouldn't have gotten 60 at that pace.
Yeah.
So.
That's a great. Look at you.
Look at that.
Adding value. Yeah, it's awesome.
I do my best.
All right, baseball family. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to talk about the American League, and then we'll take another break, and then we'll talk about the National League playoff primer. But we're going to take a break.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back with me. Root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Shop kids' baseball shirts at 9plusS.com.
Welcome back, baseball family, from that short break. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into this year's playoff primer.
Playoff primer.
All right, for those of you who are new to the show, that was Brig last year when he was excited about the playoff primer. So we thought we'd reuse it this year and every year going forward.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Listen. We should move right along. So listen, baseball family, there's only one October, okay?
That's right.
I don't know, was it MLB Network or maybe it was Fox like 5 or 6 years ago? I think it was Dane Cook did their There's Only One October campaign, and it was the best ever. See if we can find a link and we'll put it in the doobly-doo. But
yeah,
for real, I've been saying that ever since. There's only one October. I was really glad that they were able to line up the season and jam it in there so that there could still be October baseball, which is the best.
Yeah, for sure. And it wouldn't have felt the same to me if they had pushed it back to November, December, because things are different. But and then now that obviously they can get the season going when it's supposed to next year. But no, it wouldn't have been the same if it was in a different month. It's got to be October, got to be.
I agree.
So
all
right. So
agree.
we have expanded playoffs this year. We have 16 teams, 8 from the American League, 8 from the National League in the playoffs this year. I think it's going to make for a more exciting month. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got top to bottom a pretty good mix of competition. The Astros managed to make the playoffs at under 500. Turns out baseball's really hard if you're not cheating, if you don't know what pitch is coming.
Get him, Brad. Get him.
Hey, I'm not the first one to say it. I'm just reiterating. That's all.
I love it.
But you also have in the National League, you have the Brewers made it at under 500 at 29-31 as well. So it happened in both leagues, but anyway. Let's go ahead and start with the American League, Brig. Let's just go through matchup by matchup and just kind of give our predictions and some of the things we think about it. So let's start with the Rays and the Jays. We got the Rays as the number 1 seed in the American League. I don't think either of us saw that coming this season when everything started.
Not at all.
But they definitely made a jump from last year, which historically has not been the case in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. But last year they held on pretty solid, even in Houston. I think they
should have beat Houston last year. I maintain that. They should have beat them last year. They should have.
Yeah, and there were a couple of defensive foibles that kind of got in the way, and otherwise they were undeniably competitive. So we all knew they kind of got cheated last year out of this opportunity, and then we found out that they actually did get cheated out of it. So
legitimately,
now they are coming up with a vengeance, and rightly so. And they're barnstorming. Everybody's out of their way, pretty much, at least so far.
But on the other side, the Blue Jays continue to be young and ignorant, I guess you could say.
Right.
They're not supposed to be
this good. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Any progress that they make through the playoffs this year is obviously going to be gravy for that team. But at the same, I don't know how surprised I will be if they do beat the Rays, because they've been playing them all year anyway, so they're familiar. And by all year, I mean the last 2 months. But whoever they end up playing in the next round, if they end up in the World Series, I don't know if I'll actually be surprised, because
I'll be shocked. I'll be completely shocked.
Yeah, and
just because of the competition they're up against.
Yeah.
Listen. For them to make it all the way to the World Series, they would have to go through Tampa Bay, and then the winner between Cleveland and New York, and then don't forget the other bracket. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's a very challenging situation for the Buffalo Jays right now.
That's right, the Buffalo Blue Jays. But I feel like if they're gonna do it, like if any team's gonna make it to the World Series, we're not supposed to. This is the year it's gonna happen, because everything's just so weird, and we didn't really get a huge sample size out of everything. That who knows? Maybe if this was a 162 game season, maybe the Rays would have fallen apart in another month.
Right. Exactly.
Because they have got some injury issues going into the postseason. So I saw they had 10 pitchers on the IL at one point.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know what
injury? Go ahead.
Listen,
sorry.
I gotta say this before we get into all of the breakdowns and everything. I have to say that I've been looking up the expert predictions, just passively. I'm just just casually aware, and I was noticing that there's no consistency, none. I mean, I feel like all of the experts disagree, every one of them, and because there's enough teams and enough potential combinations of who ends up in the World Series and who ends up winning the World Series. Because there's so many potential combinations, they all can have a different opinion of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy this year.
It is crazy. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we'll give our predictions at the end, but by the way, Brig, we're going to give predictions at the end.
Okay, I was like, whoa. All right. Okay.
Let's go on to the Indians and Yankees.
Okay.
I don't feel like many teams are playing better baseball than the Yankees are right now. They had their skid. They left their skid marks, and I feel like they are peaking at the right time because there was a chance of them not even making the postseason, and now they're hitting the cover off the ball.
Yeah, but hopefully they're not peaking. Hopefully it's just this wonderfully orchestral crescendo of perfection in pinstripes, because that's what it needs to be. That's just. It's only just.
Even if they're plateauing, I think they'll be fine.
They will be. As long as Stanton does not step on the field, everything will be okay.
Saw somebody said they need to give him the Ellsbury treatment. Was that you, or is that somebody else?
No, I'm telling you, that's exactly what they need, because he is bad luck. He's bad luck. He's the opposite. He's the obsidian stone making your dishwasher not work or whatever. He's the, you know what I mean? He's the opposite of the rabbit's foot. Put him in the locker room.
Yeah.
Because not the clubhouse. That's where the baseball players hang out. This is the janitor's locker room. That's where he goes.
Maybe he stole some of Jobu's rum. Maybe that's what happened.
You know what? I'll bet you he did. It all makes sense now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He probably doesn't think Jesus Christ can hit a curveball either.
Probably not.
Man, This dude is bad news, Brad.
Yep.
Yeah, he stole Jobu's rum. You're right. That's exactly what happened. God,
so here's something interesting that I thought about as I was looking at these matchups. So the Rays and Jays, like I said, they've been playing each other off and on for the last 2 months. They're familiar with each other. That's why I think the Blue Jays have a legitimate chance to take down the Rays. Now, you've got the Indians and Yankees have not played each other once this season. The Twins and Astros have not played each other once. The A's and White Sox have not played each other once.
Yes.
So I feel like in a 3-game series, we're pretty much going to go chalk down those series. We're going to have because didn't the Indians, let me put my standings up again here real quick. But yeah, the Yankees, I mean, they didn't have a better record, but I feel like they're the better team than the Indians, right?
Well, who's the better team today? Today, Tuesday. I think it's Monday right now, but you know what I mean? Like, who's the better team?
Yeah.
Day one, because we don't have time. There's no time to figure it out. You either are or you're not.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like these games are going to be really interesting because they haven't seen each other. That you've got 2 chances to adjust.
Yeah.
Or really 1 chance to adjust, right? If you lose game 1, like, make your adjustments or you're going home tomorrow.
It's a mid-game situation. I know that sounds stupid because it always is, but this is crazy. So as a Yankees fan, I think the Yankees can beat Cleveland. I really do, but I'm really worried about Cleveland's pitching.
Oh,
but then again, especially with Shane Bieber, but then the Yankees, I mean, I don't know, man. I just sit here and be quiet. And
I think that's a valid point because you've got Shane Bieber, and then you've got I just had it. I confused. Sorry, Brad Hand.
Yeah,
with the Indians led the league in saves. So you're pretty much if you get down against the Indians, you're pretty much playing an 8-inning game.
Yeah,
and that could be trouble for the Yankees, especially with their pitching situation, because the starting pitching situation is not fantastic.
Yeah, but it's 3 games right now. That's all we have to worry about.
Well, yeah, but that's 3 games you have to worry about.
I know, but it's not 5, Brad. Okay, stop trying to make me more nervous than I already am. It's a good thing our offensive production is so amazing.
It is, yeah, it is a good thing because if you can get through Bieber, you've got a real shot.
Yeah, but that's what has to happen.
Do.
That's what has to happen.
And nobody's been able to.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And do it in 8 innings because of Brad. So
yeah,
not
this Brad Hand.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But,
correct.
Anyway, our third series. We've got the Twins and the Astros. Nothing
Twins
would make me happier than to see the Twins sweep them. I mean, 2-game sweep sounds weird, but
it's a 2-game sweep.
2 games. This
very good. You go.
Of this
you go.
series.
You sweep 2-game sweeps like this, whoosh, whoosh, like that. It's
make
just,
quick work of the Astros. Get them out of there.
right.
Nobody wants to see them. Everyone just wants to see them go home. And you know what's actually really funny? I was looking at the schedule of games coming up over the next couple days. So Tuesday, if you're listening the first day this podcast is out, you're listening on Tuesday, and it's so funny because the Astros and Twins are playing at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Now, 2 years ago in the playoffs, the Astros were playing in the afternoon, and Alex Bregman after the game was complaining about how, we have to play in the afternoon. I'm out here, I got a sunburn, and I'm not happy about it, blah, 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 blah. And granted, they were the World Series champions at that time. They were the defending champs. And, and that was his argument. But it's like, I love that the Astros are playing in the afternoon, and Alex Bregman can go out there and get another sunburn and complain about it because I don't care.
Yes.
And either does the rest of the country.
That's a deep track burn right there, Brad. That's you. You went all the way deep into that bag of tricks. Pull that one out.
It just bugged me so much that he's complaining. It's like, dude, it's because you're in the AL West. That's why you're playing at home in the AL West.
Right.
That's why you're playing. Made me crazy.
Oof,
but anyways.
Simmer down. Do you think though the Twins will beat the Astros or not?
I do. Yeah,
I do
the
too.
Astros are depleted. I mean, if they had Verlander, I think they'd have a shot, but they don't. And I think that's really the reason why. I mean, they're not going to be able to slow down the offensive juggernaut that is the Twins.
So then it comes down to
Astros
the
aren't
A's and the Sox, A's and the White Sox.
Yep,
This
A's
one,
and White Sox.
This one is perplexing.
Yes,
this one could go either way, easy.
Mm-hmm. It could. I do feel like, like I said at the beginning of the season, the A's are built for this kind of sprint.
Yeah.
I mean, they ran away with the AL West. Granted, not a good division, like we talked about earlier.
Sure.
But at the same time, I mean, they did win 36 games. They won just about all the games they were supposed to win. They kind of let a couple get away from them there with the Mariners at the end of the season, but I'm sure that was just letting up because it didn't really matter at that point, right?
I guess.
So
yeah, I don't know.
I've got the A's in this one, to be honest. I know the White Sox are very good. We said at the beginning of this, before the season even started, they're going to be very good. But I think the A's are going to take this one because this is what Billy Beane, 60 to 80 games is Billy Beane's specialty, it seems like.
I would give it to the A's as well, although I'm a little bit sad to do that because of how well I've seen the White Sox grow. But I think it is a kind of an undeniable. I mean, well, it's not undeniable. That contradicts what I said earlier. It's not undeniable, but I'm just gonna go with you on this one. I agree.
Cool. Right on. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, let's get into the National League.
No matter which ballpark you're at, you want to rep your team. Now you can with 9+ Us. Welcome to the Big City Series. With every design available in your team's colors, you can fit in with the home crowd or stand out on the road. Either way, we have the colors you crave. Shop the Big City Series and find designs that rep your favorite baseball podcast, cheer from the cheap seats, and much more. Shop the Big City Series only at 9plusus.com.
Welcome back, baseball family. We are going to bring you our playoff primer for the National League right now. We've got all the teams lined up, and who's going to beat LA, I guess, is the real question. But let's start there. we have Milwaukee traveling to try and beat LA. Brad, do you think Milwaukee has a chance?
The game is going to be in LA.
LA.
I don't know, honestly. Like, I don't think they will, because the Dodgers are that much better than just like everybody, you know.
Yeah.
But the Brewers, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that really anything can happen, but I just don't think it can, you know.
I want to give them some love too, but I can't. They're so good over there in LA. It's just impossible to argue with.
Oh, and then they go get some LA tacos.
You got to get tacos
After
when you're
every
in
win.
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you see a celebrity eating a taco in LA.
Go for an LA hike.
Okay. Stop it. And then San Diego is going to play St. Louis.
Oh, you said that wrong. Remember, Brig, it's Slam Diego.
Excuse me. Okay.
Yes. So the Slam Diego Padres going against the St. Louis Cardinals. And to be honest, like, I think the Cardinals have about as much of a shot as the Brewers do.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I do
the
too.
Padres are really good. And I've been riding that train for about a year and a half now. And I'm going to stick with it.
Stick it, Brad. Stick those guns. Stick right with them.
For sure.
Yeah. I agree with you. So then let's talk about Chicago and Miami.
Miami.
What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if the Marlins won. I mean, it's strange to say it because it has nothing to do with this team, but the Marlins have never lost a postseason series. If they make the postseason, all 2 times they've made the postseason, they've won the World Series.
Right.
Now, not to say that has anything to do with this team.
It doesn't.
Anything at all to do with this team. It's just a fun fact, something to keep in mind.
It's just a fun
fact.
Brad's just going to taint everything we do with superstition. That's fine.
That's what I'm here for.
I do the
Not
same thing.
Superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
I'm
I
superstitious. I am.
I'm only superstitious when it comes to sports. But
really only baseball. For me, that's it.
But this is the interesting thing about the Marlins is that this is the third ownership group to bring this team to the postseason.
Yeah,
it could be the third ownership group to bring this team. If I could talk continually, then I would try to say that this would be the third ownership group to lead the Marlins to a World Series.
So you're saying every time they change ownership groups, they end up in the World Series?
So far, the original owners did. The second ownership group did with it's on the tip of my tongue. David Sampson and whoever he worked with.
Yeah.
They did, and then now Derek Jeter and his guys.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. So, but do
something
you think? Do you think Chicago has a chance against Miami?
Yeah, Chicago definitely has a chance. They're good. They're a really good team, but at the same time, they have not played fantastically over the last couple weeks. So they could be kind of taking those little downward,
like an eddy
downward slide
on a river. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
I gotcha. I feel you. So, and then we got to talk about Atlanta and Cincinnati.
Now, this is an interesting one to me.
Me too. Go ahead.
This is going to be a good series. I mean, 3 games tops, but it's going to be good because the Reds can throw Bauer and Gray at you, Trevor Bauer and Sonny Gray at you.
Yeah.
And you're gone before you know what happened.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the Braves could come out and they could still tag either of those guys for 6 runs, 8 runs, and then that's, series over.
Yeah, exactly. Or not. It's all going to come down.
Or not. That is definitely the other option.
Wow.
Or you know what the other option is? Maybe. Maybe.
I feel like we've covered all 3 bases actually with
I think we did
successfully.
I'm glad that we were able to do that with that.
just
Three
felt
possibilities.
it felt so on brand to cover 3 bases at once. Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
that was great. I think,
No, that is legitimately though. That's the series that I've been looking forward to.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Like, I want to see what the Reds do. They have been up and down all season. We've been saying they're a better team than what their record shows, and so
That's
now's
right.
their chance to prove it. Their last 10, they're 7-3. The Braves in their last 10, they're 6-4, so they're pretty even right now, both playing kind of even keel ball. But man, like, that's the one I'm looking forward to, and I want to see how it plays out. I think that's the one that I'll be paying most closely. Gosh. Most attention to. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we can't speak well anymore or ever again, because we're both struggling with words somehow right now. Brad,
I know,
tell
and
us.
I've got my cup, and it's not even, like I said, it's an unnamed non-adult beverage.
Right,
It's not even an adult beverage.
I have water. My half-gallon thing of water. Okay. So anyway, holy crap. So, Brad,
man.
who do you think is going to end up in the World Series? Just who the matchup will be.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Padres. I'm gonna say that the Padres take down LA in the second round and then go on to the World Series. And they're gonna play. Padres are gonna play the Oakland A's.
What?
I'm doing it because earlier I had the Dodgers and the Rays,
Yeah.
but now that we're making our meaningless playoff predictions, I'm gonna go with the Padres and the A's.
Padres and A's.
Doing it. What about you, Brig? Who do you have?
I was so confident. So I don't think your meaningless prediction is impossible. I just think you messed up who the AL team will be.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the
So
Yankees
So you've got the Yankees and
and the Padres.
you got the Padres?
Yeah, I do.
Whoa, you changed up there on me like at the last second there. I was convinced based on our previous conversation and everything we've said that you're going to pick LA.
Well, I want it to be the Padres more than I believe it is going to be LA. So it could go either way for me. I don't know.
It could. And see, here's the thing is my whole thing with it is that top to bottom, the Dodgers are a better team than anybody in the National League. I mean,
And anybody in the American League as well.
Yeah, we could just say it. The Dodgers, top to bottom, are the best team in baseball.
Yes.
But I was kind of joking and kind of serious, like half serious when I said it. Somebody said on the Facebook group, they said, as long as it's not the Dodgers. And I said, well, given recent history, I don't think it will be.
Right.
Because they've shown in the past, over the last couple of years, that they can be so handcuffed by analytics and stats that they get in their own way. That the front office doesn't let. Oh gosh, I can't think of anybody's names tonight. Roberts. Anyway, it doesn't let him manage.
Right.
They don't let him make in-game decisions like he should be. That everything is basically calculated and scripted down to the very last situation. And if he's in the dugout and thinks to himself, you know what, we need to pinch hit right now. Need to pinch hit for Jock. Pull out Jock Peterson and put in Kike Hernandez to pinch hit. I don't know. And who knows? Maybe he'll go out there and hit a home run and win the game. Or maybe he'll go strike out. Who's to say? But if you don't give a guy a chance in a big spot, when you feel like you need to, you'll never know. You can't be handcuffed by analytics. And I feel like that's been the Dodgers' biggest Achilles heel the last few years.
Well, in San Diego, and we don't know what's going on in the front office in San Diego and, between the manager and the head honchos, but they're
right, and that's something we'll
playing.
probably find out more about in the off season.
Yeah, but they're playing
as we learn
like
more about them.
energetic, passionate baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why
Yeah.
I got to give it to them, because we don't see that as much. It's not the same in LA as it is in San Diego. That they're playing energetic baseball in LA for sure. But you're right, it's more of like the Evil Empire type of calculated. The San Diego thing is passionate, right? It's like fun. So I think that carries a lot of weight, and I hope it'll carry through Kershaw's choking, and you can't argue about that. You just can't.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But if this is, like anybody else, if this is going to be the year, it's going to be the year. So, but I think we'll see New York and San Diego. I think that'd be really exciting. And
They would. I think regardless of who it is, we need an East Coast West Coast World Series.
yeah,
I think that's what we need.
yeah, I agree. That would be really great.
Oh, hey, by the way, Dave Roberts. That's who I was trying to think of.
Right.
Dave Roberts, manager of the Dodgers.
Yeah,
Old
Dave
Dave.
Roberts.
But-
All right, well, baseball
I don't know.
family. Did you have anything else, Brad?
No. Just go A's,
Great.
go Padres for my meaningless playoff prediction.
Yeah. No, I think it's awesome. Baseball family, we want to hear from you. What are your meaningless predictions? We proposed doing a bracket challenge in the VIP group. I did, maybe with a discount associated, but somebody said no. They don't want to jinx it. I think it was Denise. She said, no, I would never go in on that because it would just jinx everything. And welcome to baseball.
Yep, exactly.
So, anyway, if you listeners out there and viewers on YouTube, if you want us to do a bracket challenge with some discounts for the apparel, we can definitely do that, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. So, just
We
let
could
us
even
know.
start it in the second round if we get enough interest in it.
Say what?
I think we could even start it in the second round if we get enough interest in it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Just because, the playoffs start Tuesday.
That's
So-
today.
Yeah.
If you're listening today, right? So,
And hey, you know what? Wednesday is like the big day for baseball. Everybody's playing on Wednesday, and it's going to be awesome. Pretty much baseball from I guess for me, pretty much until from 9 until I go to bed. 9 a.m. until I go to bed at night.
yeah.
I guess for you, that would be noon?
Yeah, it'll be noon to
Noon
1
to
o'clock in the
midnight,
morning.
probably.
Some madness, some ugly,
Yeah.
evil. I don't know why they do this. I know it has to do with broadcast rights, but it's just not very nice.
Yeah.
End up watching baseball until the dawn's early light.
I know, especially in the playoffs. The last few years, I've been watching games while I'm trying to get stuff done, and it gets to the point where I'm just I can't do anything while I'm watching these games because they've been so exciting, and I can't wait for these games to start.
Yeah, that's
It's
how
gonna
I
be a
feel.
blast. Tons of fun. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead and finish with the shop. Brig.
No, man, you're good. So just baseball family, jump on the shop at 9plusus.com. It's NINEPLUSUS.com. Grab yourself some baseball themed apparel, hats, t-shirts. We're dropping hoodies here soon because our friends in Chicago and Philadelphia tell us it's cold. So we're going to make sure that they get some snivel gear and get taken care of up there. So if you want something like that, jump in the shop and grab it, and we will be sure to announce anytime that we have something new here, as well as the 9plusus VIP group, which is on Facebook. And we had some questions come through recently about whether or not it's a pay-to-play scenario, and it is not a pay-to-play situation. I've never heard of that in a group, but we are going to keep banging this drum until we stop getting questions about it. It's free. Just come be a part of our baseball family, and it's incredible. The culture is amazing. The people we've got there, we always have a ton of fun, and it's all baseball all the time. So
That's right, for sure. And one of the benefits of being in the VIP group is you get early drops and discount codes. So come and join us. It's tons of fun, like Brig said. But you can also get in contact with us. You can comment on YouTube, any YouTube video. We will see it and we will respond. You can also send a letter. Gosh, I did that again. Nobody sends letters. Email. Send an email to our mailbag, with a question, comment, concern, anything you want to know about the podcast or us or baseball, whatever. It doesn't have to be baseball related, anything. And then you can get in contact with us on Instagram at Baseball Together, on Twitter at Baseball, the number 2 together, Baseball Together on Twitter. And baseball family, enjoy the playoffs, and we'll catch you next week.